What's up, Mavs fans? If you haven't heard about Anchor yet, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
This is JJ Barrett, and you're listening to The Step Back.
I like this, TK. I like this, TK. I like that. Yeah, it's the Mavericks, all about action. Don't do no acting, no Samuel Jackson. Don't get the ball, you know that it's magic. Post move deadly, yeah, get tragic. Look with the ball, yeah, get nasty. He'll drop 30, don't gotta ask him. Got Chris Stapps, coach at the Adam. I spaz like Dallas, I thought I'm rapping. God, if Luka shoot the ball, you know that it's cash. But my boy still living the past. Now he got my boy Chris Stapps, looking like Dalton and Matt in the gap. They just want a ring, wanna fill the gap on your team head. I ain't talking hats, dang, go relax. Still at the champs, defense still coming with the best flow. The master best on the
Welcome back to another edition of the Step Back, a Mavs podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Dalton Trigg. I'm joined by my Sports Illustrated colleague, Matt Galatson. As a lot of you know, our new Mavs site, it's mavssi.com, is up and running. We're going to have some of that Mavs content, the great Mavs content we provided for you at dallasbasketball.com and 24/7 Sports. We will now be doing that over at mavssi.com. Matt, how do you feel about that?
I mean, it's pretty cool, right?
I mean, I'm ecstatic about it. I'm ready to get going. I don't think I've written anything in like at least a month and a half, going on 2 months. So
yeah, you're the one that's pining to get on the train and start writing again. I'm not quite as excited as you are, just because I'm still busy with other writing stuff. But
you're having to cover Dallas Cowboys preseason games for the fans, so I understand why you're not as excited about it. But but I'm also doing it for the CowboysSI.com site, which is part of the same network. True. But no, I mean, it's really exciting to be able to have that name brand behind you, and the full capabilities of their network. I mean, it's not looking exactly like it's going to look in the end once they get everything integrated and all that stuff, but once that happens over the next couple of months, it's gonna be looking pretty. Yeah, the exposure that our work will get. I mean, we had a really big following at dallasbasketball.com, and they're following us, over to Sports Illustrated and the Maven now, but the platform that Sports Illustrated gives us now is something that I think, that's what's big to me, because a lot more people are going to get to see our stuff now, and Sports Illustrated is more focused on the pro side of things, where as we know, 24/7 Sports, they were more interested in college sports. So I think that's going to be huge for all of us. I'm really excited about it, and I'm ready to get it going because, like I said, last 3-4 weeks, I know I said almost 2 months, but it's really only been about a month. The podcast has been what's, kept me going. So I'm ready to hop in there. I just got access to the site today. Both of us did. So Mavs content is on the way. But
I'm excited for you, Dalton. Write your little heart out.
Yes, I mean, I might just start out with a Boban piece. I don't know. I'm debating right now what I'm going to do, but I'm going to get started tomorrow. I'm going to start writing, and I'll probably have something out by the weekend. So
I might write 3,000 words on why Boban was the best character in the history of the John Wick franchise. Who knows?
I would read it. I would read that too. So
that's a very Ringer type article.
But speaking of that topic, if you did write on it, that'd be kind of similar to what we're about to talk about now. And we're kind of late to the party because all the hype happened last week, it seems like, or the week before last. The Popeyes came out with a chicken sandwich. And I feel silly even talking about this on the podcast, but
well, it's August.
They came out with a chicken sandwich, and at first just like, okay, big deal, it's a chicken sandwich. Well, then the hype started to build, and I was finally just like, you know what, I'm going to have to go try this. And I went and tried it, and wouldn't you know it, it's amazing. It's like one of the best chicken sandwiches I've ever had. And that got me to thinking, and it got us to both thinking, like, what's the best chicken sandwiches out there? And we made a top 5 list. And Matt, I'll let you go first. And then when we get to mine, just know that I had a couple other places on mine that I wanted to list, but Matt was like, no, that's only in Mississippi, and nobody else can find those. So we stuck to fast food chicken sandwiches.
Well, not necessarily fast food, but like chain. Like things that you can find basically anywhere in the country, especially in Dallas, which is where most of our listener base is.
Right, because some of these aren't really considered fast food. You're right. So, with that being said, Matt, name off your top 5. Start from the bottom. Start at number 5 and go up to number 1.
Okay, my number 5 is Wendy's. The spicy chicken sandwich at Wendy's. It's solid. It's big. It's got some really good fried on there.
It is solid.
It's nothing too crazy, nothing special, but it's real chicken. It's not like that crap they have at McDonald's. It's like ground up and whatever. You don't really know what's in there. It's mystery chicken.
Matt, you don't believe McDonald's when they say they went to 100% white meat?
Not on the McChicken, man. It's still delicious, but I don't know what the hell's in it.
Right. You're really not sure if it's a chicken sandwich or not. I get it.
Yes. Number 4, I have to go with apparently a controversial choice in Dalton's eyes. Cane's. I mean, I know it's not like the go-to thing when you go to Cane's, but like if you're going to Cane's for lunch, for example, I always feel like sandwich is more of a lunch food, so I'll grab the sandwich and just dump that cane sauce all over it and go to town, and it's really good.
See, you're like the only person I know of that gets a sandwich at Cane's.
I only do it for lunch.
Like when we talked about this before we got on the pod, and when you told me that you were going to list Cane's on there, I was like, maybe he means that he got an extra Texas toast and he's putting his chicken finger between the two toasts or something.
Oh, I've done that.
But no, well, I mean, I have too, but that's what I thought you meant by a Cane's chicken sandwich. I didn't think you actually ordered the sandwich off the menu.
Oh, I did.
That's all they do is put chicken tenders on there with buns.
I know, and it's good. I can't help it. Like that's a good chicken sandwich.
Well, anyway.
Another. I should go back a little bit. An honorable mention is the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich from Whataburger. Excellent.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna have to change my. I'm gonna have to change my list here last second. How did I not think about Whataburger?
I don't know. I just thought about it. You can tell how much prep we put into this conversation.
Well, look. Yeah. Well, look. I'll list the 5 that I had before, but I'm changing number 5.
Okay. Fair enough. My number 3 is actually Popeyes. For a while, it was up there at number 2, and then I decided to do some extra research, and I went to a place that I didn't even know was in Dallas for a while, that I had in Mississippi all the time when I was at Ole Miss. And that's Zaxby's Cajun Club. It's unbelievable. That's my number 2. So that jumped ahead of Popeyes. And then number 1 's still Chick-fil-A. I don't know. The spicy chicken sandwich, of course. I don't know if it's because the people are so nice or what, but I mean, if you gave me a blind taste test, I would probably still end up picking that one number 1. It's just that good.
Well, just let's look at it this way. as good as that Popeye's chicken sandwich is, I sent you this early. Like, there was a dude that posted a screenshot.
Oh,
He
that
got
made
a
me
Popeye's
vomit.
chicken. He got a Popeye's chicken sandwich, and he bit into it, and it was raw chicken. And you see that, like, have you ever seen anything like that from Chick-fil-A ever?
I've never seen anything but perfection from Chick-fil-A. In fact, I'll tell you one thing that happened to me at Chick-fil-A that maybe it makes me biased. I'm not sure. But when I was at Ole Miss, I had just finished an 8 o'clock exam, and it was my last exam of the entire semester, and I was about to go home, and I was exhausted. I just pulled an all-nighter, and I pulled into Chick-fil-A at like 10:25, and they stopped serving breakfast at 10:30. And the guy was like, man, listen, so we have a bunch of extra breakfast left over. We have 2 extra spicy chicken biscuits. We have extra chicken minis and a few extra things of hash browns. Do you just want it? I'll just give it to you. And I was like, yeah, man, I really do. And I ate every single bite of that food, and it was fantastic.
You can't just turn that down. I mean, of course you have to take it.
Yeah, and it was ever since then, Chick-fil-A has just been very special to me.
Okay, so before I list mine, just quick recap. Name your 5 one more time, since we took a little bit to explain it.
Number 5 is Wendy's, although I'm really debating putting Whataburger there. You know what? Audible. I'm putting Whataburger honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich number 5. I'm putting Cane's number 4. Popeye's number 3. Zaxby's Cajun Club number 2. And Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich number 1.
Okay, well, I can't say anything about Zaxby's because I can count on one hand how many times I've ever been to Zaxby's.
And you
before,
live in Mississippi. Shame on you.
Cane's is king here.
Oh,
we have Zaxby's, but Cane's is king. I mean,
just try it for me as your co-host. Try it.
Next time I'm in the general area of Zaxby's, there's a Best Buy close to it. So next time I go to Best Buy, I'll go to Zaxby's. But anyway, my top 5, and look, I didn't realize how bad my lack of chicken sandwich eating was until I started to try and think of a top 5. So before Matt reminded me of Whataburger, I was gonna list Sonic in there at number 5 because that's the only chain restaurant, the last one I could think of that I've actually had a chicken sandwich at. So we're scratching that. Forget that. I'm going to put Wendy's at number 5 because I've only tried a chicken sandwich once there. It was a little bit earlier. It was great. I'm putting it there. I'm going to put Whataburger number 4. I'm going to put Buffalo Wild Wings at number 3, which, like I was telling you earlier, you could say the same thing about me. Like, oh, why are you getting a chicken sandwich at Buffalo Wild Wings? But I have before. It was good. Put Popeyes at number 2, and then, like you said, Chick-fil-A at number 1. And it's not just the spicy, sandwich, but just everything there is good.
It's impossible to beat.
Even their grilled chicken sandwich is good. I don't know if you've ever had. Yeah. Like, normally when you think of a grilled chicken sandwich, it's like, it's just going to be kind of bland, rubbery. No, that's not the case. Every single thing they have there is amazing. So, it's still king. Popeyes, they've had their hype, and they've probably made a ton of money off of this, promotional item. But Chick-fil-A is still king.
Would you see how they apparently sold out nationally?
Yeah,
that's such a load of crap.
Yeah, that was planned. That a chicken place doesn't just run out of chicken sandwiches. That's really weird.
Nah, man, And then I saw one guy being like, "Oh, well, they're probably just low on manpower." It's like it doesn't take any manpower to freeze a fried chicken sandwich. They're just doing it they're doing it for the exclusivity of the chicken, and it's stupid. I mean, it's smart because it's working. But it's dumb.
Well, in my area here, and I've mentioned this a few times on Twitter, in the past few weeks, but my local Chick-fil-A, and we don't have a lot of, we have one that I go to, and then there's another one that's on Southern Miss's campus where I went to college, but that one's like right in the middle of campus, and I really just don't feel like, parking and going all the way to that that one at the middle of campus. But the one that I go to shut down for like 6 weeks a couple weeks ago for renovations, and that was right when Popeyes announced the new chicken sandwich that they were doing. So for my general area, they couldn't have picked a worse time to do that. So I'm very ready for Chick-fil-A to come back. I'm having withdrawals. I mean, I really felt it today when I had to go to Wendy's.
Well, it forced you to try something new.
Yeah, but it's just not the same. But that's one thing we can agree on, though, is Chick-fil-A is still number one, and it's not just because they're super nice and all that, but they're really consistent with their product. I mean, it's just everything they have is good.
Okay, so there's one thing about the Cajun Club before we move on to actual basketball conversation.
I cannot believe we spent over 10 minutes talking about chicken. This is crazy.
It's two fat guys talking about chicken. So Zaxby's, the Cajun Club is actually grilled. That's how good it is. If I'm putting it in my top 3 and it's grilled, that's how good it is.
So I don't have to feel guilty about going to try that. I can tell myself it's grilled.
No, you just got to pour the Zaxby sauce on it.
Okay.
But it really is fantastic. I'm not kidding. It's the best.
Well, like I said, next time I have to go to Best Buy for something, which seems like every couple of weeks, I will try it, and I will let you know my thoughts on that. But, guys, we spent a lot of time talking about chicken sandwiches, so we're going to go ahead and take our ad break here early. So stick with us. We'll be back on the other side to get to some actual Mavs topics. All right, guys, we're back. Like I said, we didn't intend to spend that much time talking about chicken sandwiches, but it is what it is. It's still August. We're getting closer to spring training. We're getting closer to training camp. We're getting closer to preseason, and then the regular season opens on October 23rd. Well, Matt, today, or yesterday, I can't remember when at this point. I know this week's been super long, and I just know it was in the last day or so. But anyway, we got our first look at Luka playing pickup ball. It's the first time we've seen workout photos, and, there were some videos of him working out in a gym earlier in the summer. Well, now we have video from ballislife.com of him playing in an open gym, playing some pickup ball with Justin Jackson and Dorian Finney-Smith and even Monta Ellis. And, I mean, he really looks like he is in the best shape of his life. He's leaned up. He looks ready to go. It's a completely different feel from, how he started off last season. And everything he does, we know this already, but everything he does is just so effortless. And just watching him toy with people, even though it is, a pickup game, and seeing how he's worked on his body this summer, it makes me really, really excited to get this season underway. What do you think about it?
I don't think I was excited as you were, but he looks great, man. This is probably the first time he's ever been in shape to this level in his entire life.
I'm not saying I was excited by him playing pickup ball in itself. I'm just saying to see him in action, because you know how people can take Instagram photos and all, get the lighting right and all this other stuff, and it might not.
He looks about 15 pounds lighter, and like he turned all that fat into muscle.
Right, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he looks real good, and it was nice to see what he looks like on a basketball court and with his new body. I was probably more anxious to see what Kristaps looked like. We still have to wait on that a little while, but it's exciting. It was kind of weird seeing him on the same floor as Monta Ellis, but it was cool. It was cool.
Monte tried his best to set Luka a screen, and it just wasn't working. Poor Monte. What is he, like 34 years old now?
I don't know, but he looks like he could still play a little bit. So why not give him a camp invite?
Yeah, that's where we were going to lead with this too. The question I was going to ask is exactly that. Should the Mavs extend a camp invitation to Monta Ellis? And I don't think it could hurt anything. I think if they bring him to camp and he shows that he's still able to contribute at a high level, and if he's willing to come off the bench and do that. Well, I don't know.
If he's not willing to come off the bench, that he has a major problem he needs to think about.
Well, yeah, but that was part of the issue of why he didn't return to Dallas in the first place. So I don't know.
He's probably learned since then.
You think so, but then you'd also think that Carmelo Anthony would have learned that too.
Okay, those are two totally different animals. Don't you dare insult Monta Ellis by comparing him to Carmelo
come
Anthony.
On. Monte has some of that old school ego.
Yeah, but
like Carmelo. It may not be as bad, but he's got it.
Carmelo is just like
Monte have it all, Matt.
Carmelo is Hulk Hogan, and Monta Ellis is just like The Miz.
Well, I don't think it. I don't think it would hurt. Like I said, even if he ends up just being like a end of the roster guy, he could potentially be more helpful sooner than some of these other guys. So I wouldn't be opposed to it, especially if JJ Barea gets to training camp and he doesn't look exactly right, and they think they might need some. Like an extra scoring punch off the bench. I think Monte would fit into that role quite nicely. So, he would have to come to camp and prove it, though. We're not sure if he can handle it or not.
To me, it makes more sense than giving the spot to, some other veteran minimum player that they don't have they don't already have a relationship with,
right?
Or somebody like Devin Harris, who I'm no offense to Devin, but I just cannot watch him play basketball anymore. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I love Devin Harris, but it was time for the Mavs to move on there.
Yeah, don't
go ahead.
Sorry, it would be nice if it was something different for a change. And bringing Monte back is pretty much exactly that. It's just different, and it's not the same end of the bench players that are just sitting there and rotting, and then a month later they're getting way too much playing time because Rick Carlisle loves them, and then it's just like,
Well, in another universe, in an alternate universe out there is a scenario where Devin Harris would have ended back up in Dallas for this upcoming season. But, with the emergence of Brunson or in the second half of last season, and then they added Seth Curry and DeLon Wright in free agency, it just wasn't in the cards for Devin Harris to come back. So it's sad, but it's the truth of it. But let me ask you this, Matt. If you had to choose between giving Monta Ellis a camp invite versus guaranteeing a vet minimum contract to a guy like Joe Johnson, who's been tearing it up in the Big Three league, which would you rather?
Monte.
You don't respect what Joe Johnson's doing?
I hate that so much. I hate the Joe Johnson thing. It's the big three. He's taking 4-point shots on some dudes who are 50 years old.
He's killing it, Matt. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
that's fine. There are 50-year-olds that are killing it in the big three too because they don't have to run up and down the court. It's a half court game.
Oh my goodness, that is one of the big knocks. It's half court, and so they're not. You can't really tell if they're in NBA shape or not. But to be fair, Joe Johnson physically doesn't look like any of the other people he's playing against in the big three,
Which is why he's doing so well.
Right, but I mean that was the whole purpose, of the creation of the big three. Players that had been out of the league for a while that hoped to come back. That this was supposed to be a vessel for them to keep working on their game and potentially get the attention of some other teams to give them another shot.
Isn't Coutinho Mobley in the frickin' big three?
He was last year. I don't know if he was this year.
I mean, come on, man.
The funniest thing I've seen so far in regards to the big three is watching Glenn Davis, Big Baby, is watching him play, because that dude looks like a full-on Dallas Cowboys defensive tackle with a too tight basketball uniform on. That is absolutely hilarious to me.
Yeah, I'll admit, Dalton, I never thought I would spend more than 2 seconds talking about the big three on this podcast, but here we are.
I mean, I have an interest in it because, like I said, that was their whole purpose, was to try to get players back into the league. If Joe Johnson ends up being signed by some team, he would be the first one.
Yeah, because it's all old ass dudes like Rashad McCants.
Yeah, but that's not the guys that are going to make it back.
But that's all that's in the league now, except for Joe Johnson.
Well, I mean, they had to get some players to get this thing started to show other players hey, you can come do this. Maybe Joe Johnson's potential success story, will help him grow a little bit. But last summer, when the big three came to Dallas, I don't know if you remember this, but I got the chance to do a phone interview with Jim Jackson, and he was I don't think he played in the big three this year, but he was last year, and he told me about how it got started and how he got started doing it and all that. And I mean, it really interested, I was intrigued by it. So I mean, I've been following him from a distance since then. I'm not afraid to say I'm a big three league fan. So
okay,
jump on the bandwagon, Matt.
If Jim Jackson, who was playing in 1995, is in the big three, that's all you need to know.
But Matt, that's what I'm saying. That's why he's not playing in it this year, because
this is actually a good idea. Who should be in the big three? Delonte West. Somebody get that guy off the streets, get him into the big three, and get him some money, please.
I mean, seriously, Ice Cube needs to be hunting him down. Yeah. Seeing that, I was not expecting that. That really hit me in a soft spot there, seeing Delonte. And at first, I thought it was an older picture or something. But after I read a couple articles, I realized that's literally his situation right now, and it's really sad. It seems like he's homeless, and I mean, even though the most memorable thing I can think of from his Dallas tenure is him poking Gordon Hayward in the ear. I really do hope for the best for the guy, and I mean, I think that'd be great if he got a chance in the big three. So
where was that picture taken?
I have no idea.
I kind of want to just go find him and give him a hug and tell him everything's going to be okay.
Invite him over to your place.
Well, no, but
let him be friends with Gus.
No, but I want to get the guy some help. Somebody needs to find him.
Yeah.
Maybe we can find him. Maybe we can get him on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my thing is, as much power as LeBron seems to have, in the league and everything, we don't have to get into the nitty-gritty details here, but Delonte West's history with LeBron. And
LeBron's mother specifically.
I mean, so we know LeBron's not going to do him any favors. But anyway, well, we won't harp on Delonte West too much. But I do wish the best for him. I hope he does get some help.
Yeah, that's really sad.
I hope somebody offers him some help, and then I hope he's in a place mentally to where he'll accept it and try to get on the right path, because it's really sad. But anyway, we're going to move past the big three discussions, and Matt, this is going to be the last thing we talk about tonight. But I've been thinking about it. We assume, and we're probably correct, that Luka and Kristaps Porzingis are going to be the Mavs' top 2 scorers this year. And I'm really not sure who I would put number 1 right now. I guess Luka, just because he seems like, we know more at this point than we do about KP and his health and everything. But, as well-rounded as Luka's game is, I could see him averaging like 23, 8, and 8. And then I could see Porzingis averaging like 25, 26 points per game. So I don't know. I guess if KP is 100% healthy, I'd say he would lead the team in scoring, and then I'd put Luka number 2. But who would you put at number 3? Who do you think will be the Mavs' 3rd leading scorer this year?
Wow,
it's hard.
This is why nobody thinks the Mavericks are going to make the playoffs.
It's not necessarily a bad problem to have. I think there's a lot of candidates for it.
Is there anybody else on the roster? Here's the real question. Is there anybody else on the roster capable of averaging 17, 18, 19 points a game?
I think Seth Curry is, because the last time he was healthy in Dallas playing with Rick Carlisle, he averaged 13 points per game, which was a career high. And he seems to be more stable now physically than he was his first go around in Dallas. So I think he could easily average that many points per game playing with Luka.
Okay.
Or close to it.
I think I want it to be Seth Curry. But I think
I know where you're going with this.
Okay.
You're gonna say Tim Hardaway Jr., aren't you?
Yes, I think it's probably going to end up being him, and I'm going to hate it.
I knew it.
Because he's going to start jacking up like 35 shots a game.
Well, see, in a perfect world, I would want Justin Jackson to emerge, and I think he's going to have a really good 3rd season in the NBA. I think he's going to be more effective than he has been to this point in his career. But I don't know what that's going to look like on paper, with averages and stuff. I know his percent. I'm pretty certain his percentages will be good playing with Luka and in Rick Carlisle's system and everything, just judging by how he played with the Mavs in 29 games last season. But, I would like for him to emerge and be the Mavs' 3rd leading scorer, but I'm kind of on the same page with you. I feel like it's going to end up being Tim Hardaway Jr. if he's healthy. And for better or worse, I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
It's not.
Given the amount of shots he jacks up, but I think it's probably going to end up being him. But I think Seth Curry could be a close 4th. And I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if any of Hardaway Jr., Justin Jackson, or Seth Curry, if either one of those 3 ended up being the 3rd leading scorer, I wouldn't be shocked.
I have a bad feeling it's going to be Tim Hardaway. I just really hope I'm wrong.
Well, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing, because,
yeah, it does.
It doesn't have to. Because last year he obviously wasn't, fully healthy, and if he's fully healthy now, and he's playing in a new this will be his first time starting out a fresh season in a team not name the Knicks since he had that really good season with Atlanta. So I mean, I could see him being used in a way to where he's just as effective as he was for that Atlanta team. You know, not taking as many shots, getting his field goal percentage up, his 3-point percentage up. I could see that happening for him this year if he's used correctly. Now, I don't know how hard it's going to be for him to break the habits that, were created in New York. Maybe they can't be broken, but it wouldn't surprise me if we see a more effective Atlanta Hawks version of Tim Hardaway Jr. this season than what we saw in New York.
Well, unless he fixes the way he shoots the ball, I don't see that happening. I mean, he shoots the ball like he's trying to fire a Kamehameha wave or something. It's all over the place. His arms are just flapping in the air, and it's like, I don't know, it's wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
And see, that's what I don't understand, because we talk about these workout videos and stuff like that, but we've seen some of Tim Hardaway Jr. this summer as well, and it's him working on his shot, and his shot looks really good. And, his landing looks really good, his footwork and everything. I mean, I don't know if it's just like an adrenaline thing when he's in the game, and it just goes haywire.
When he's got the adrenaline, he's just, throwing the ball at the basket. It's, unathletically as possible. It's really weird, and I don't know. I thought, the first time I ever played with him on, 2K, I was like, there's no way that's what his shot looks like in real life. That is atrocious. And then I watched him play for the Knicks, and I was like, oh my God. That is what it looks like.
Speaking of 2K, 2K20, it comes out this weekend. No, it doesn't. It comes out next weekend. I keep jumping a week. 2K20 comes out next weekend. And as some of you may already know, we set up a Twitch account for the Step Back. It's the same as our Twitter ad. It's at Step Back Mavs. And Matt and I, we are going to give it a go and do an online streaming of us playing each other in 2K. So if you guys are interested in that kind of thing, be on the lookout. Go ahead and follow us on Twitch, and you'll know when we go live, and you can watch me take down Matt.
Next Friday.
Yeah, it comes out next Friday night.
Yeah.
I was so excited earlier in this week. I was for whatever reasons, I was thinking it was coming out this Friday night, and then it hit me midweek, and I was like, oh man, I have to go through this again. But
yeah,
we'll get there.
I still don't know who I'm going to play with yet.
Well, look, it's just going to be a crap fest. So
I know we set the ground rules that neither of us can be the Mavericks.
Yeah, no, we can't be the Mavs, and I haven't ever seen you play, but the way I play, it mainly consists of just a bunch of pick and rolls. So,
well, I mean, sure,
pick and rolls and way too many threes. So it just depends on who I get, whether I'm going to win or not.
I need a really ISO heavy point guard. That's what I need.
Well, you probably need to get the Rockets then.
I was thinking about that. Couple of ISO guys.
But anyway, guys, like I said, if you want to check that out, go follow us on Twitch. You can find me at Dalton_Trig on Twitter. You can find Matt at Matt Galatson on Twitter. We have, like I said, we have a account for the podcast at Step Back Mavs. That's also on Instagram, and we're on Facebook too. So we are literally everywhere now. If you ever have any questions, be sure to send us a message to those podcast accounts, and we will do our best to answer them. And you never know, we might end up talking about it on the show. That's happened a couple times. People send us messages, and it turns into a topic discussion the next week. So feel free to do that. Also, guys, don't forget about our opening night ticket giveaway. All you have to do is go to Apple Podcasts, search for us on there, give us a rating, and leave a review. And in the review, just leave your Twitter name or your Instagram name so we know who you are. And that's it. That's all you have to do to be entered into the drawing. And 2 weeks before opening night, we're going to do a live Twitter video. I'm going to do a live Twitter video with all of your names in a hat or a bowl or something. I'm going to shake it up, and we're going to do a live reveal of who won those tickets. So be sure to do that. Matt, anything else before we take off here?
Not really.
We've talked about it all.
We've exhausted every NBA topic outside of Boogie Cousins having a warrant out for his arrest.
I'd rather not talk about that.
Yeah. So no, I mean we appreciate it. Go check out our new site at mavssi.com, and if you're a Cowboys fan, go to cowboyssi.com. I'll have a story up later recapping the Cowboys game tonight. And Dalton's going to write 10,000 words on a minute-long Luka pickup game video. So
I cannot wait, and I know y'all can't either. It's going to be amazing.
So, yeah, go check us out.
But, yeah, guys, like Matt said, we truly appreciate the support y'all have shown throughout this summer. And it's just getting started up again. Once training camp gets here, then the preseason will be here, and the opening night will be here before we know it, and we'll be at it 24/7. So we appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a great weekend. The man's the best on the floor. I'm wild, but yeah, I'm the GOAT. This game get cold. Yeah, you might need a coach. Your friends turn into your foe. But I'ma just roll. Gotta keep rolling your boat. Yeah, I swear I give them hope. I say I'm cleaner than the soap. This time of year proves who will really sink afloat. For yeah, it's the Mavericks. All about action. Don't do no acting, no Samuel Jackson. Dirk at the ball. You know that it's magic. Post move deadly. Yeah, get tragic. Yeah, it's the Mavericks. All about action. Don't do no acting, no Samuel Jackson. Dirk at the ball. You know that it's magic. Post move deadly. Yeah, get tragic. In this game, it's a lot of grit. You know what I'm saying? Proves who has integrity. Late nights, early mornings, but we all want the trophy at the end of the day. And that's the beauty of this game, because at the end of the day, only the real gonna float, man, for real. You either sink or you float. Only the real gonna float.